Non-conference play had some high highs and some low lows, but if I'm being honest, this is the part of the season that I've been looking forward to the most. Mountain West play gets started for the UTEP Miners for the first time in program history. And we will first take on the San Jose State Spartans, who had a very good start to the year, scoring 40 plus and winning their first 3 games, but they lost to Air Force 19-9 last week. They still remain one of the better teams in this conference, but we are going to try to hand them their second straight loss, as the offense for UTEP will take the field first. Rich Belin has really settled in. He comes off of a masterful performance against Texas State where he had 5 touchdowns. Starting in the shotgun with 2 tight ends, and there's going to be movement before the snap. Setting us back 5 yards. And the first play from scrimmage is an RPO pass out to Noah Stevenson. One of our favorite play calls in the playbook, and it gets us back on schedule with a first down. Here is Belin with pressure up the middle and clobbered as he gets the pass out. 2nd and 10, it's a bubble screen caught by Eduardo Polanco, ahead for a gain of 9. 3rd and 1, Wandami Davis motioning, he'll get the sweep, and he's tackled behind the line. They saw right through our play call, and that is the end of our opening drive. Out comes the 87 overall Adam Matthews, the highest rated quarterback in the conference. Very strong, very athletic, and very calm under pressure. He'll start by handing it off to his running back. It is Xander Cheek with nowhere to run. He is the backup filling in for the injured Byron Slayton. 2nd and 10 and another no-gain play. Good open field tackle by Tay Brown. On 3rd down, Matthews completes, but Malachi Riley is tackled short. Both sides trade punts. Back to Rich Belin, who finds Cash Cheeks in the flat, nearly to midfield. Pistol set, and we'll set up a halfback screen. It's Raleek Brown. Room to run, and he's nearly to the first down. 3rd down and short at the 44-yard line. 2 tight ends set. This is the power back, Ty Clark III, picking up the first down. Spartans show pressure. They bring it, and we pass it short to Raphael Campbell. Sets up a 3rd down and 6. Orbit motion for Cash Cheeks. Looking over the middle, what a throw! That's complete, right in the bucket for Raphael Campbell once more. That is a true freshman making that throw, everybody. Rich Belin places it right between 3 defenders for the whole shot. Red zone opportunity early, and that time Campbell wasn't ready for it. 3rd down and 9. Trying to make a pre-snap read. Brown motions. Belin is pressured and sacked. John Norwood gets through unblocked. And just a protection breakdown will force Noah Botsford to come out for a field goal. Miners on the board first. A win today could really serve as a major statement that we're ready to compete in this conference right away. San Jose State has a lot of skilled talent. Xander Cheek will get the first down on the screen pass. Under 2 to go in the first quarter. Matthews, clean pocket, has all day to throw, and breaking free is the tight end. Cooper Flanagan with a 50-yard reception. And this was just a case of Matthews being given way too much time to throw. Flanagan was actually double-teamed, but he is an excellent route runner, one of the higher-rated players on the Spartans, and he makes a huge play. San Jose State in scoring range now. 3rd and 9. Matthews has to escape the pocket, and he'll have to throw it away. That time we do make him uncomfortable with pressure, and Dennis Lynch, the lefty kicker, just sneaks that inside the left upright for 3 points. Tie game at the end of the first quarter. We're going to get it back in the hands of our most dynamic athlete, Raleek Brown, on the counter. The block set up, and Brown gets a big chunk. Now in the second quarter, Belin, keeper, and gains 4. 3rd and 7, Raleek Brown out wide with 3 other receivers. And more movement on the line, this time the right guard Dennis Lafferty called. 3rd and 12 now. Belin has time, looking at the corner route, he's got a man! Excellent throw and catch from Belin to Taylor Perez. That extends our drive. Brown hits the spin move and falls forward for a gain of 7. 30 rushing yards for him. It's a play-action bootleg to the left side. Belin's just going to take off and run for the first down. At the 29 of San Jose State, we keep it on the ground. Here is Brown for a gain of 6. Belin will drop back. And pressured by 2 Spartans, he'll go down for the second time. Only loses 2 yards, though. And Belin, nearly intercepted. That took a bad bounce off the hands of Campbell, thankfully dropped by the defense, and Noah Botsford is able to make his second field goal of the day. 6-3 UTEP. Matthews looking for Flanagan. Catch goes for 8 yards. Now they hand off to a true freshman running back, Cameron Blossy, who moves the chains. Xander Cheek back in the game, makes a great move behind the line of scrimmage. Breaks the ankles of Messiah Delhomme. 2nd and 1. Halfway through the second quarter, and that is another play made by a tight end. This time it's Josh Steinbach. Xander Cheek through a gaping hole in the middle into the second level, first down. Matthews into a blitz. And he finds Ivan Carrion for a short catch. Trips to the left on 2nd and 4. Matthews under pressure, and he escapes. Just such a nimble athlete. A 9-yard pickup gets them into the red zone. Here is Matthews looking short, and the pass is broken up by Tay Brown. 3rd and 7, Matthews facing consistent pressure now, and he has to throw it away. A lot of great defense so far. We bend but don't break. The field goal nearly blocked, but it is up and good. Just by a few inches. Just look at this. We had actually 2, even 3 guys who may have had the potential to block it. Just couldn't get a hand on it. 2:40 to go. And another excellent throw. Wandami Davis up the middle. Belin's throw hit him right in stride. 90 seconds in the half. Belin taking a shot. And that was risky. Hunter Noel drops the interception. On 3rd and 7, great concentration from Cass Cheeks to make the catch, but it's just short by an inch or 2, which Belin takes care of on the sneak. Belin looking underneath for Davis again, falling forward, first down. 20-yard line. Belin unleashes, and it's into a tight window, caught by Campbell. Great hands holding onto that through the hit. And this is caught for a touchdown. Wandami Davis puts us on top with 46 seconds to go in the half. Excellent drive from Belin and our entire offense to take a 13-6 lead into the half. It's been a pretty evenly matched game so far, especially yardage-wise, but that 2-minute drill touchdown was a huge momentum swing towards us. On the recruiting front, we are still hoping for Cam Clemens to let us back in. We just need one more bump to our championship contender grade. I think that if we win this game, we're going to get there. We did not quite get the commit from Miles Isaac after the visit last week. It went well, but we still have to get that last little bit. UTSA does have him visiting this week, though, so got to be careful. Clay Weinstein, the 2-star running back, has just entered his top 5 stage, so we get closer to closing in on him. but we might have some competition for Devin Travis. Hawaii just made a lot of progress, and we actually play them our next game, so we're going to have a chance to really take control of that battle. Our last two recruiting battles seem to be pretty easy, though. Connor Flavors has us first by a wide margin, and same with Reggie Molinaro, who is visiting this week. Wonder how he's liking these throws from Rich Belin so far. He has been on point today. But we get the third quarter started. Adam Matthews and the San Jose State offense take the field. A leaping grab made by Cooper Flanagan, but the ball is out at the end of the play. Recovered by UTEP. That happened so fast. They're going to look at this, as it certainly looked like he might have been down. Flanagan makes a good catch, but he's a little rattled after the midair hit. Okay, he is definitely down. We have benefited from some crazy fumble calls. Add that one to the list, as it inexplicably does not get overturned as Raleek Brown capitalizes with a leaping catch. Man, the end of the second quarter and the beginning of the third have not gone well at all for San Jose State, but they get big-time pressure on Rich Belin, sacking him for a loss. Second and goal, we go to the trusty Raleek Brown screen pass, but not able to evade the defender coming downhill. Split backs on third and goal. Belin looking to the sideline. He's got Ty Clark powering past the goal line. Touchdown Miners, and we extend our lead to 2 scores. The Spartans now reeling from a sudden surge from UTEP, but oh boy, this is trouble. Cooper Flanagan beats the man coverage from Messiah Delhomme. No safety help. He picks up a ton. And another excellent throw from Matthews. Touchdown, San Jose State. They answer quickly. It's Malachi Riley, as Matthews is finally starting to put his elite skill on display. 20-13. Maybe the offense will open up a bit here in the second half. 3rd and 2 after the short run. And we'll keep it on the ground. Brown gets the first down and much more. Past midfield to the 48. Brown continues to have a ridiculous yards per carry average, as Wandami Davis makes the catch over the middle for the first. 3rd and 6. Belin back to pass. He's on target for Raleek Brown, who gets down past the markers. Now we pull it on the RPO and we hit Cass Cheeks. Absolutely wide open. 1st and goal. Now Cheeks motions out to the right. Another RPO, but Beelin's going to keep it himself. Walks in. Touchdown. I am really enjoying how this offense has felt so far in year 2, with the exception of the 2 games where we obviously had no chance. It has been very efficient and just a lot more smooth than year 1. And I don't want to get ahead of myself, but this team has looked really good in the games they've won. They look really good today. They could be a real conference contender. Adam Matthews, though, trying to will his team back into the game, down 2 scores in the 4th quarter. Good pass to Malachi Riley. More time, and he's going to take off this time, making 2 linebackers miss. He is a dynamic dual threat QB. Excellent run for the first down, and this is caught by Ivan Carrion, open underneath. And they are in the red zone. Matthew with time and room to run up the middle. He'll take 6 yards. Bunch set to the left. He'll navigate the pocket, lob it to his receiver who drops it. Leland Smith has to catch that ball. Ruined an excellent play from Matthews, but they'll have another try. Matthews with time again, and back of the end zone. He got his feet down. Leland Smith. An incredible toe tap catch Just one play after a terrible drop, he makes up for his mistake in a big way. Matthews is really heating up as the Spartans get within 7 points once more on a 12-play, 5.5-minute drive. Can we execute one of those long drives? Now would be a very good time. 3rd down and 5, we are at risk of a 3 and out. But Jalen Brown makes the catch for the first down. Can't get too conservative here. We'll hand it off to Raleek Brown, and they contain the outside zone run. 5 wide, this is 3rd down and 11, and Marcus Torres keeps the drive alive. He has made a lot of big plays this year. Belin will drop back on 1st down. He fumbles the ball, hit hard, and thankfully, James Williams, the left guard, jumps on it. Dennis Lafferty lets up the immediate pressure up the middle, and we're lucky 97 didn't pick that ball up immediately. 2nd down and 27. Belin intercepted! Overthrew it. Was probably not the right read anyway. Just trying to make something happen with an unfavorable down and distance. And Hunter Noel just walks into an interception. Missed out on a pick earlier in the game. And he is just gifted another opportunity here. Spartans have it in our territory. Down by 7 with 5 minutes to go. 2nd down and 3. We send pressure, and the pass is caught by Carrion for a 1st down. It's an outside handoff. Xander Cheek is dumped. We snuffed that out. Under 3.5 minutes to go, and Ashton Coker gets through and brings down Matthews. That's our first sack of the day. 3rd and 17, and Matthews brought down for a 2nd straight play, and he is shaken up. We get through 2 consecutive plays after we struggled to get pressure for the whole rest of the game. And he is crucial to the Spartans' comeback efforts. Not what they wanted to see, but Dennis Lynch does nail the field goal. And we keep a 4-point lead with under 3. Ty Clark II through a big hole. And San Jose State will start using their timeouts. Another handoff to Ty Clark. Falling forward, 1st down. And the Spartans still choose to use a timeout. It's a fake jet sweep. Clark gets it, but not able to get to the edge. And an injury timeout for San Jose State will just grant them an extra clock stoppage. It's before 2 minutes, so it doesn't count as a timeout used. Raphael Campbell up the middle, 11-yard grab. And this is a huge 3rd down and 3. Ty Clark tries to pick it up on the ground, but he does not get there. Maybe a little too conservative. Maybe we should have had Raleek Brown on the field. We could end up regretting that play call, as the Spartans will get the ball with 1:53 remaining, and Adam Matthews does come back out onto the field. We know he's not 100%, but this is what separates great quarterbacks from good ones. Trying to will his team to a comeback win. Matthews completes on 2nd down, but it's going nowhere. Jordan Shaw downhill for the tackle in the backfield. 3rd and 11. Matthews heaves. Intercepted. Tipped and caught by Cedric Beavers. Makes a cut to the outside. Spins back in. And he's inside the 20. And that is going to seal a win for UTEP in the conference opener. Huge play for our defense. That was why we invested so much in the secondary in the offseason. We weren't making those types of plays. This play was really made by Devin Harold, getting back to deflect that ball right to Cedric Beavers. Belin takes a knee, and we are going to head to 3-2 on the season and 1-0 in Mountain West play. Another very good performance from Rich Belin. Of course, he threw the interception late, but ultimately you can't be mad about 74% completion rate for the redshirt freshman. He was slinging it all over the field today. He's been doing that for 2 straight weeks now. The Spartans gave us a tougher challenge than the other 2 teams we beat, but that is to be expected. They are more talented. But even though we only won by 4 points, we never gave up the lead after we took it at the end of the first half with that 2-minute drill touchdown. That was really the turning point in the game. And then that fumble at the beginning of the third quarter, which of course was a bad call, but that was another big swing in our favor. After we scored on that drive, that was when Adam Matthews and the Spartans offense really started to wake up. But by then it was too little too late. We executed just barely enough to keep the lead down the stretch. Not every win is going to be a cakewalk, and we have shown that we can win easy and win hard. I was not sure what to expect this season with the amount of talent we lost at wide receiver, defensive line, offensive line especially, but ultimately the talent we brought in has looked very, very good, and they're going to give us a chance to be a better team than we were in Season 1. But of course, there is still a long season ahead, and who knows what will happen. Moving on to the next week, and we do get a commitment from Miles Isaac, a 3-star right tackle. We're really hoping these 3-star recruits hit for us since we only have a limited amount. But maybe the biggest news is that our championship contender grade is up to a C-. And that gets us back in the range where we can continue to recruit Cam Clements, the playmaker, gadget wide receiver. Thankfully, during our time being locked out, we didn't have any other teams jump in and try to compete for him. We are still first in line for Cam Clements, as we look to bring in another receiver who is under 5'10". But we got our grade high enough, now the job is to keep it that high. Wow, so this Devin-Travis battle might not be as close as I expected it to be. Hawaii actually made very little progress on him last week, while we made quite a bit of progress. And of course, we are playing Hawaii in Week 7 after a bye, so I am going to have Travis visit that game. Speaking of Hawaii, they just beat up on Wyoming, who is probably the worst team in the conference at 0-5. The Rainbow Warriors are 2-3, but I do think they are better than that record suggests. They have one of the better quarterbacks in Demarcus Davis. They pair him with one of the better running backs in Scott Trey Humphrey. And their top receiver, Jackson Harris, just went off for 198 yards and 3 touchdowns. So when this team is playing at their best, they are very hard to beat. Here are some notable scores that happened during our bye week in Week 6. Tennessee comes back from 18 points down in the fourth quarter and wins it in a multiple overtime thriller over South Carolina. Drew Pine is the hero with 427 yards on 40 completions. Georgia avoids a scare against one-win Missouri, only beating them by 1 point. They remain undefeated and number 2 in the country. Duke also remains one of the best teams in the country as they beat their rival North Carolina by 8 points. Darian Mensah now up to 93 overall as they look to have a second straight playoff appearance. Some other surprising contenders include Wake Forest, who is 5-0 after a bludgeoning of California. And I don't know why they're ranked all the way down at number 23, but UCLA is undefeated, 7-0. This rivalry game went down to the wire. Utah edges BYU. And now we can move on to Week 7, and Cam Clements now in his top 5 stage. We've been waiting a long time to be able to say that. And wow, there must have been a lot of chaos this week because without doing anything, our championship contender grade is now a C. It jumps from a C- to a C during our bye week. And we can now shift focus to our Week 7 matchup against Hawaii. I would love to see us continue off the momentum we built last week. The record suggests that Hawaii will be an easier matchup than San Jose State, but I'm not so convinced. I already briefly touched on their quarterback and their skill talent, but they are honestly a very deep roster all the way around, at least as far as Mountain West schools go. Before we get into that, I actually had some skill points to spend on some players. Raleek Brown's going to get an IQ upgrade. Messiah Delhomme will upgrade his zone coverage to 80. And free safety Devin Harold will reach 70 overall. Ellis Davis will also max out his run blocking, which is a little bit disappointing. But we're able to make our team a little bit better heading into this game. Week 2 of Mountain West play begins. Back at the Sun Bowl. We've had a lot of home games to start the year. And out comes Demarcus Davis, the quarterback who wears number 20. He's got a rocket of an arm. And he's also got great running ability and great off-platform creation. 12 touchdowns, 5 picks on the year so far. Last season, he threw for 30 touchdowns. But this first play goes to Scott Trey Humphrey, who picks up 17 yards up the middle. He is also a dynamic talent, 91 speed, and a good balance of elusiveness and power. They fake it to Humphrey this time and make the pass to their actual highest-rated player, Pofele Ashlock, a wide receiver who has 95 short route running, 90 medium. He is an absolute route artist. Davis in the shotgun. He'll drop back and deliver to the left side. Ashlock has it broken up by Cedric Beavers. And Davis under pressure. He's brought down. That is Jaden Wilson on the blitz. And Hawaii will turn it over to our offense. We motion Cheeks to the left and hand it off to Raleek Brown up the middle. Gain of 8 yards on the first play. Now fake to Brown, and Belin gets downhill. Picks up the first, gets to the 35. 2nd and 13 after a tackle for loss. Brown gets us back on schedule with an 8-yard catch on a screen. 3rd and 5, empty set, and movement up front. It's going to be called on Dennis Lafferty. 3rd and 10 now. And to the sideline, and it's off the hands of Raphael Campbell. Good throw, but we have to punt it away. Screen pass caught by Scott Trey Humphrey. Goes for 14 yards and a first down. 48-yard line, Davis fakes, fires up the seam, and the tight end makes the play. Off to the races, and then he is dragged down from behind. But Larry Booth makes a big play, breaking the tackle from Messiah Delhomme. And it sets up the Rainbow Warriors nicely. Pass caught, and a touchdown. Jackson Harris breaks the plane, absorbing a big hit in the process from Delhomme. But most of our games, we have scored first. We are going to have to start from behind now, and that run did not go well. Sione Fotu dumps Brown in the backfield. 3rd and 10. This is caught by Jalen Brown. Catch and run to the 38. Moves the chains. To the flat. This is dropped. Wandami Davis had it right in his hands. 3rd down and 8 for Belin, and another drop. Taylor Perez again with 2 hands on the ball, but lets the defender distract him. And a high-level throw there from Demarcus Davis, caught by Jackson Harris, his 3rd already. And the run defense swallows up Scott Trey Humphrey in the backfield. On to the 2nd quarter. Humphrey on the swing screen. Makes a man miss, but not able to get past anyone else. We'll get the ball back, but face a 3rd and 4. Pass is caught. No, dropped by Raphael Campbell. The drops have been a major issue today. And we're going to go for this 4th and 4. Good throw from Belin. Good catch from Brown. And he'll turn upfield into Rainbow Warrior territory. Fresh set of downs, and Belin has a convoy on the keeper. He will pick up a first down run. 27 rushing yards for our quarterback. Now running room for Ty Clark III, pinballing off tacklers and brought down at the 9. Now we set up the screen for Brown, but they cover it up. Fotu has made some good plays so far. Belin will pass on 3rd and goal. He'll wheel out to the left. He'll try to get the touchdown himself, and they're going to rule him just short. So close, it does look like his knee touches with the ball well short. And this is going to set up another difficult decision. It's on the left hash mark. The field goal would be difficult. We're going to hand this off to Brown, and he's stopped. A goal line stand for the Warriors. And it was Jaden Osbury navigating through the line, sneaking around Dennis Lafferty to make the tackle. At the very least, we have them pinned, and Demarcus Davis is going to get his offense some breathing room. Good open field juke. And he's going to do the exact same thing. And another good move. Messiah Delhomme tried to go for the cut stick, and it didn't work. 1st and 10 for Scott Trey Humphrey. He'll pick up 7. Now Davis, back to pass, not for long. Tay Brown shooting through the middle, and he gets the sack. 3rd down, we rush 3. Davis will fire to the sticks, and it's short. Jackson Harris tackled right after making the catch. And they will punt it back to us. Taylor Perez makes the catch this time and gets a lot of separation on that zig route for the first. Under 3 to go in the second quarter, Belin saw a lane and he went for it. Big run, 63 rushing yards on just 4 attempts for Belin. Out of the 2-minute timeout now, Davis crossing over to the left side for the first down. Empty set, and we continue to find open space. That is Campbell wide open over the middle. 3rd and 1 at the 11. We're going to run this all the way down and get Brown to the edge, picks up the first down and gets out of bounds. Hasn't had any chunk plays, but that was a big one as Eduardo Polanco couldn't hold on through the hits. 3rd and goal at the 9. Belin overthrew his man. Was looking for Raphael Campbell. And now we're going to have to try that chip shot field goal from the hash mark, and Noah Botsford executes it. And we are finally on the board with under a minute to go in the half. Demarcus Davis puts it right on his receiver, Tay Nakua, for a first down grab. As they try to execute the 2-minute drill, we didn't give them much time to do so. They'll get it to nearly midfield. Davis against a blitz. He'll get it to his tight end, Larry Booth, with another big play. He's up to 60 receiving yards. They have 1 timeout in their pocket, but they are not using it. 6 seconds to go. Down goes Davis. Ashton Coker just hammered him, splitting the double team. And he's going to make this a very tough field goal. Jack Stevens from 55 yards out. He's got it. What a kick. And the Rainbow Warriors take a 7-point lead into the break. They have locked us down on defense. I thought it was going to be their offense that would be a problem for us, but so far it's been a defensive grinder. The San Jose State game started like that, but eventually the offense has opened up. We'll see if that happens again. Good play by Jalen Brown to start the drive. Now it's Raleek Brown with a spin cycle near the sticks, and he's got the first down. We're going to fake to Brown. Belin rolling to the right, and a contested grab. Raphael Campbell wins the battle in midair. We're in Hawaii territory. It's a tunnel screen. It is popped up in the air and intercepted. Absolutely disastrous. And Jaden Osbury has himself a 49-yard pick six. What a momentum killer. As we looked like we were actually going to do something on that drive, and it was over in the blink of an eye. That play call can be effective, but it can also be very risky, and that time it did not go our way. And we find ourselves in a 14-point hole just like that. Easy pitch and catch now to Eduardo Polanco as we try to get back on track. Now this pass is caught by Wandami Davis. A well-executed quick out. And they've been stopping the run all game long. Sione Fotu with another play. And I can feel us losing momentum. We can't afford to punt this away. 4th and 2. Belin over the middle. It's dropped. The ball is jarred loose from Raphael Campbell. And it is a turnover on downs. Dermaricus Davis takes over in our territory. 2nd and 3, escaping the pocket and finding a target for a first down. 27-yard line for Davis. Steps up in the pocket, finds his tight end Booth, but it's not enough for a first down. Jack Stevens on for the 34-yarder. The snap, the kick, it is good! And Hawaii now takes a 3-score lead. How are we going to respond to this adversity? Raphael Campbell in the soft spot of the zone for a big catch. Can we sustain a drive, though? Wandami Davis with the catch, and he's still going all the way to the 32. Still looking for our first touchdown. Ty Clark. And if you're wondering where Raleek Brown is, he's dealing with some wear and tear. Exactly the thing we wanted to avoid. But we don't want to exhaust him this early in the season. Looks like we're going to need him, though, down the stretch. As Belin has pressure, and a close call there. Nearly another situation where the ball gets popped up and intercepted. 2nd down. Ty Clark can't hold on. Cody DeCambra with the breakup. And we've got to find the end zone on this drive. Belin on 3rd down. Pass, jumped, and intercepted. DeCambra will take it the length of the field. Cody DeCambra with the 2nd pick six of the day for Hawaii. Just backbreaking. This game is reminding me a lot of Season 1. We had a lot of interceptions like this, but what a play by DeCambra. He was the robber's safety on this play. Was not expecting him to step up like that. Man, what a game for him. He has had multiple big-time breakups, and now the pick six. 27-3 in the 4th quarter. This game has gotten away from us. 4th and 2, we definitely need this, and we do get it. Wandami Davis makes the play. 11 minutes to go to come back from 24 down. Campbell was open, but Belin overthrew him. 2nd and 10, 3rd interception of the day. When the interceptions come, they come in bunches. When it rains, it pours. Not much to break down other than this is just not our day. Every time we've had an inkling of momentum, it was just wiped out by a really bad play. You can't expect to win many games where you spot the defense 2 touchdowns like that. Here's Larry Booth for a first down grab. Davis now over 200 yards passing. Turnover free as well. And a near one-handed grab by Tay Nakua. I really thought he was going to come down with that. Booth catches underneath, tackled short. And Hawaii gets another field goal on the board. Here they are with the ball. 6 minutes to go. They're in the red zone again with that run. Scott Trey Humphrey with tons of running room falls forward to the 7-yard line. 45 rushing yards. He hasn't been doing the heavy lifting, but our defense is just dejected now, and we're having a hard time stopping him on the ground. Humphrey makes a move in the backfield and nearly tackled into the end zone. 4th and goal from the 1-inch line, and punching it in is Sitani Mikhaili, backup running back. 37-3. It has been an absolute beatdown here in Week 7. Here's a big catch in the middle of the field by Eduardo Polanco. Colt Sparks in the game, in relief of a struggling Rich Belin. Had 3 very good games in a row, but could not keep the streak going here. And Sparks is now moving the ball pretty well in garbage time, converting to 4th and 5. Sparks now rolling to his left. It's Raphael Campbell near the sideline, gain of 8. Can we get into the end zone before we get up out of here? Cash Cheeks moves the chains, 1st and goal. At the 6-yard line, under a minute to go, Sparks hits Davis in stride, turns up past the goal line. Touchdown, just to make us feel a little bit better about this very unfortunate performance. 37-10 is the final score. What happened? I didn't think Hawaii was that much better than San Jose State, but I was correct about their record being deceiving. They were much better than your average 2-3 squad. I do think Hawaii is still a conference championship contender. I'm not so sure about us. I need a little bit larger of a sample size against Mountain West competition. There just were not very many bright spots in this game. I mean, maybe it would have been close if we hadn't made the worst possible plays at the worst possible times, like those 3 interceptions. But the world will never know. Our secondary was abused all game long. We didn't get that much pressure on Demarcus Davis. We couldn't run the ball. I mean, we just couldn't do anything to make up for the turnovers we were committing. That's going to drop us back down to a 500 football team. We do manage to get a commitment from 1-star tackle Connor Flavors. Devin Travis just sat and watched us lose to a team he was considering. Hawaii makes a good bit of progress, and this may end up being a very close battle at the end. But thankfully, our championship contender grade only drops to a C-. We can still recruit Cam Clements for now. We don't have a whole lot of margin for error, though. Around the country, let's look at some scores in the top 25. Tennessee and Ole Miss had a ranked battle, and the Rebels come out on top, thanks to 4 touchdowns from Branson Robinson. Wake Forest took on Duke in a battle of undefeateds, and the Blue Devils come out on top by 3 points. Notre Dame and North Carolina played a nail-biter. Notre Dame won in what looks like overtime. Penn State remains the number 1 school with a 10-point win over Michigan. They are now 7-0. And here is the top 25 after Week 7. There are quite a few undefeated teams. All 5 of the top 5 teams are undefeated. SMU also undefeated. And the SEC and ACC both have 4 teams in the top 10, respectively. And there are only 2 group of 5 schools in the top 25, and they are both in the American. Tulane and Memphis, number 16 and number 25. The conference picture is starting to shape up. Here are the scores from Week 7. New Mexico is a perfect 3-0 in conference play as they beat Wyoming. San Jose State gets back in the win column against Eastern Michigan. And let's check in on UNLV. They just got a big win over Northern Illinois, 52-31. Of course, they are helmed by Malachi Nelson. He saw a big ratings jump to 84 overall in the offseason, and his play has reflected that. He has his Rebels in second place in the conference, as there's only one undefeated team. 3 winless teams. Man, this is a rough conference right now. And then we are smack dab in the middle, literally, at number 5 out of 9. And with that, we head into what I believe to be the most highly anticipated game of Season 2. UNLV hosts UTEP. Malachi Nelson faces his former school, a school that he simply just did not work out with. You felt like he was just seeing ghosts out there at times, throwing pick after pick, and then we bench him, put in Skylar Locklear, and all of a sudden we go from losing 5 in a row to winning all but one of our remaining games. For a former 5-star, number 1 overall recruit to come to UTEP and perform like that was humiliating for both us and him. You'd have to imagine there is a good bit of bad blood on both sides. Now Malachi is in a better situation. He has found a lot more success. His team is 5-2, but one of those 2 losses did come to FCS West back in week 4. Now, he did run for nearly 200 yards in that game. It wasn't his fault. It was more the defense's fault. But that is the major blemish on an otherwise very solid season for UNLV. They do not have a very good strength of schedule. They've beaten up on a lot of bad teams, and they did lose to San Jose State. So this upcoming game could potentially be their toughest test of the year. A look at their roster shows Nelson to be the 2nd highest rated player on the team. They have plenty of guys rated 80 or higher. Let's take a closer look at his ratings. At this point in his career, his accuracy and power are maxed out. In fact, most of his attributes are maxed out. He still struggles with throwing under pressure. That's at 67. Their only higher rated player is running back Parker Jenkins. He has 93 speed, and they have 2 other 80-plus overall running backs. The Runnin' Rebels are traditionally a very run-heavy school, but with Nelson they do have more of a downfield passing game, and they have a solid receiving core. John Lewis is perhaps their best defensive talent, a balanced pass rusher who can stop the run. Conrad McCracken is a true freshman linebacker that I thought about pursuing. He ended up choosing UNLV, and he actually starts. Their best linebacker is Jemai Otis. The secondary, though, is a major weakness of this team. Their highest rated secondary player of any kind is 71, and their only strong safety is 59. Kid named Deshaun Finger. I have no idea if the CPU is smart enough to start a free safety at strong safety then. They also have 3 kickers and 3 punters randomly. Very interesting team. I would say that Hawaii was probably a stronger roster than this, but UNLV has seen more success this year, so who knows what this game is going to look like. So the stage is set for next episode, where we have the marquee matchup of Season 2. Malachi looking for revenge against UTEP, and UTEP trying to prove that Malachi was the problem all along. And this game is important enough that I think I'm going to make it just a 1-game episode. Most of the episodes in this series have been 2 games. I think in some situations I'd even go for 3 games in an episode, but for really important moments like this, I think I'm going to slow it down and just make the next episode the UNLV episode and not dilute it with anything else. I'm still not entirely sure what to make of this team. We took 1 really impressive win and 1 really bad loss in this episode. We've had some great performances, but at the end of the day, we are still 3-3. Every game's gonna count going forward in conference play, especially if we have our sights set on a conference championship. This conference is wide open. Really hard to say who's gonna be in that championship game. It could be us. We've just gotta take it. And the only way is through teams like UNLV. So thank you all for tuning into this episode. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, I would appreciate some feedback in the comments section. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, turn post notifications on, and recommend me to a friend. Have a great rest of your day, everybody, and I will see you next time when we take on our old friend, Malachi Nelson.